Slurped up, my G's. Ready for today's tutorial? We're going to do a little bit of Vital and Phase Plant. But first, I've got a Tim Tam again because I had some cravings last night actually. Apparently you guys think it's like a classy version of a penguin. So I think I kind of agree with that actually. Apparently, he meant to suck some tea through it though. So, I'm going to give it a go. Oh, it's gone all sticky and mushy now. Yum. Yum, 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 yum. Anyway, today we're going to do Phase Plant versus Vital. It's a friendly battle. I've made 2 cool bases with each synth. Kept them as simple as possible. Especially the Phase Plant one. I made it really, really quickly. I made it in like 1 minute. So it's, yeah, because Phase Plant can be quite confusing, but you don't have to use all of the parameters to make a cool sound. So that's why I wanted to get into with this. So I'm going to give you a little demonstration of both bases on both synths, and then we're going to talk about how I made them and the benefits and highlights of both of these synths, which are my favourites. Just what I'm comfortable using, you know. Serum is great too, I'm just not as good with it as I am with these, so that's why I use these. Anyway, let's get into it. So here's a little demo of the sounds that I've made so far, and I've just carried on from the tutorial yesterday, just got a little kick drum going on, but no snare or anything yet. And so you're going to hear the Vital bass, followed by the Phase Plant bass, and I've tried to use them in a bit of a call and response pattern, so it sounds like this. So I've gone for obviously quite a sort of aggressive neuro-funky kind of style, but that's fun. So anyway, the first bass on its own, the Vital bass. Just put a little bit of side chaining on both of them, but I'm going to quickly turn that off. And you can hear the Phase Plant bass on its own here. Also very, very nice. So why don't you guys leave a comment down below as well, which one you think is better out of these 2 basses. Is it the Vital bass? Or is it the Phase Plant bass? Obviously they're very different, but you can leave a comment anyway. It's good for the algorithm, isn't it? The algorithm, we do everything for the bloody algorithm. No, sorry. Anyway, I'm doing like a bass group class, but it's already sold out actually, so there's no point in me really advertising that anymore. But yeah, we do group classes on Patreon if you guys ever want to join there. It kind of sold out in the first 24 hours though, this one. So yeah, but anyway, I still have one-on-one classes available if anyone wants that. But anyway, let's get into let's get into the Vital bass first. And so what I like about Vital is I find it really, really quick and easy to get cool bass sounds with just simple wave shapes and great filters. And I love the distortion and the chorus especially, and the filters. Those 3 together, you know, the flanger, the equalizer, the reverb, that's kind of standard. That's like not super special to me. But what makes this synth special for me, the way the chorus sounds and how you can modulate it. The way the distortion sounds, I love how the sine waves go into the distortion. There's a great sort of quality there. And the filters, especially the phaser ones, they have such a nice quality on them, and you can really shape the sound beautifully. So what I've done on this one, there's a lot of tone that also comes from the pitch. That's really important because I've detuned things a little bit, and I've applied a little bit of pitch movement on the sort of fine tuning. And I've only got one simple LFO. It's controlling like the filter position, and as well as the pitch, and also a couple of other things. But yeah, all we've really got is a sine wave, -24, and I've got another sine wave at 0 with a little bit of detuning here. And this one is FMing from oscillator 1, which generates some wicked tones at different levels, but I liked it around here. And then I've got a saw wave. It's a little bit lower in volume. It gives that extra grit, but because the saw wave has so much harsh high end, I've filtered this one with oscillator 3 here, and it's not taking out all of the high end, but it's taking out a fair chunk of it with this phaser negative and giving it a little bit of movement. And I'm always emphasizing the mid-range, like the low mid-range with the filters and the movement, you know. There's no point really giving loads of movement up here in the high part where no one really cares, you know. The expressive part is always here, so that's why you'll find my filters around there. A bit of brown noise, and this saw wave as well. I gave that one a bit of a stereo unison as well, because it's more of the layer in the background. The first two sine waves are kind of mono because they're like the main parts of the bass. All right. And yeah, there's just a little bit of pitch movement, like I said, on the LFO. Both of these guys are sort of pitching at the exact same amount. Doesn't have to be like that. I just kind of thought it might be smarter, but yeah, just a little bit of that pitch movement keeps the sound a bit more interesting from the beginning phase of the sound design. Yeah, our second filter here is doing a bit of shaping to oscillator 2. So the first one, the bassy one, is just going through without filtering. This one's going into this shape here, and the third saw wave is going into this shape. All right, so just giving each of the oscillators a bit of separation from each other, and blending it here on this one to sort of just change the shape of the saw wave a bit, make it a little bit smoother. That's pretty much it, and we've just got some glide and legato on, so I can go do some nice movements in the MIDI. And then we just pop over to the effects, and I just have a little bit of reverb on first, really small amount just in the sort of high end, and that goes through the distortion, okay? And the distortion is really where everything happens, because that's the sound without it. Yeah, so I've turned it up nice and high at 22 dB. And that's something I do often right at the beginning of the sound design process. Just throw on a distortion, whack it up, and then tweak your voices afterwards, you know, to see how they react into the distortion. I've mentioned this many times in previous videos. You can see my videos from 2 or 3 years ago where I run around this same very room, but with a banana. Yes, anyway, there's a phaser positive filter here. And this is just mixed in a little bit, and it's giving just a little bit of shape to the whole sound. And then I don't want to go all the way because I lose then a lot of the like frequencies, you know, that I kind of need. So just wanted to do a little bit of shaping the whole thing together to give it a bit of cohesion. But yeah, really the chorus is what I love about Vital, because it sounds great, and you can turn your mix up nice and high and then adjust your parameters. I've got the freeze mode on, so the chorus is not even moving at all. I'm tracking the LFO to move the delays. So I'm modulating the chorus voices through the LFO, so it's all going on the same movement. So we're doubling up the power of the like dynamic that we're creating, you know? 4 voices, a little bit of depth, and yeah, when you're happy with the result, just blend it back down. And you've got a lovely stereo character to your Vital bass, my G's. Flanger and EQ, not really doing much, just a bit of like randomization and a bit of like brightness boost. And that's pretty much the Giga filth, I've named it. But I love this Vital patch. It sounds sick, in my opinion. So let's go on to the phase plant patch next, baby. So by the way, guys, as you know, as like most of you know, I have presets available, Vital presets and phase plant presets, both on my website. There's loads up there. They're all really good. They've all got their own kind of unique patches within them. Some of them have like drums in, some of them have like pads. Most of them have, well, all of them have heavy basses. And yeah, Vital and phase plant ones, both highly recommended from me. If you are also struggling to get your synthesis up there and you just want to like have some cool patches to start making music, then why not download some, tweak them a little bit, make them your own, and use them in a track. Anyway, let's crack on with the phase plant then. And this one here is, again, I tried to make it really simple. And the main thing that I love about the phase plant that you don't really get in Vital is obviously the granular synthesis section. So it allows me to just get a great sample and run it through a sine wave, and with a little bit of white noise, and I've got like the whole basis for this wicked sound, which sounds like this. All it is just that one granular sample run through a sine wave. And then, you know, I've distorted it a lot, and this is the thing about phase plant that I like, which is that you can stack distortions on top of each other, so they become just, you can refine the sound, you know, one stage at a time. Obviously in Vital you only get one, so that's one other bonus thing here. So I have the sound without any distortion, and then I use the saturate mode first, mix that in, a little bit of drive and spread. I've done a little bit of brightness boost quickly. Then I'm going for an overdrive, and again just driving that up a bit. And then I'm going for the sine mode and driving that up a bit. Mixing it off a bit because it's quite loud, that one. And then, you know, I've really just distorted it a lot, but in like stages, which is really, really cool. I love that. And for the like voicing part, it's so simple. I just took one of the preset kind of samples, the vocals male phonemes, it's called. And then all we do with that is just run the output into the phase and turn it up a bit. You'll get better results usually, both in Vital and Phase Plant, when you FM like a quarter of the way or a third of the way. That's always the best sort of balance, where you keep the original like sound and blend the other one in and don't go like too far either way, you know? That's what I normally go for. But yeah, all I did on this one was just play with the start position. I mean, that was sick right there, wasn't it? Oh, that would be sick too in the beat, wouldn't it? Here. So you could get loads of cool tones out of that just through running that through the sine wave. But that was the original I stuck with. And again here, I haven't really changed any other settings other than running it through into the FM. And I've just played with the grains. I get confused. Is this the grain amount, the amount of grains, or the something? Both these settings here, this one and this one, sort of affect the timing of the grains in a very, very similar way, from my opinion. So I'll just stick with this one, and I use this one to change the speed of the rhythm. Just change the rhythm of the result. So we could do a slow one as well if we want, but this one was quite a nice speed here. For me, had like a nice bit of energy, but yeah, great way to get like this instantaneous rhythm into a bass purely by running a wicked granular sample into a sine wave. And that's all I've done on that. That's literally what I've done. Bit of unison as well. That's it. Anyway, why don't you guys leave a comment below what your favorite feature of Phase Plant is, or what your favorite feature of Vital is. And yeah, for me, like, it's not a war between the two synths. Like, at the end of the day, my goal is to make great music, and occasionally I'll feel more inspired to use a Vital sound to help me finish a track. Occasionally I'll feel more inspired to use a Phase Plant sound to help me finish a track. Doesn't really matter each way. I don't really get attached to them. If they weren't here tomorrow, I'd find something else to use. Doesn't really bother me. But that's just these are just the two guys that I'm comfortable with right now. But yeah, let us know what you think. So I hope you enjoyed that, and we're going to crack straight on tomorrow with the next tutorial in our January Fire series of random me doing stuff. And tomorrow we're going to dive into some advanced sound design, and we're going to take these basses out of the synth into audio and do something crazy with them to take them to the next level, and hopefully start making like a sick drop and making a bit of a banger. And then we'll do some more stuff after that. But make sure you subscribe and hit the bell as well, because I don't know how the algorithm really works other than say subscribe to people and say comment below. I don't really know what I'm doing here. I'm surprised I've got this far, to be completely honest with you. But if you want to keep up to date with the tutorials that I'm doing this month, do hit the little bell, because then it will show up on your actual feed. Otherwise it probably won't, because I'm like just really not good with like setting YouTube videos up properly. Alright my G's, catch you guys tomorrow. Peace out.